Okay, hi, my name is Freya and I am on the club water polo team, women's club water polo team here at UC Davis.
Hi, my name is Lois Chappell. I use they, them pronouns. I play on the women's club water polo team here at UC Davis.
So to people who do not believe that gender equality in sports is an issue, I say that I have personally experienced gender equality while doing sports, and I know many other women, my friends, who have experienced gender inequality while doing sports, and I've read multiple news stories. Most of the one that sticks out to me is the U.S. women's soccer team that are currently facing gender inequality in sports, and it kind of sucks because I'm just kind of here to play and have fun.
I think gender has a really big effect on representation in the sports realm because, starting off first, there was this huge debate about whether or not trans women can compete on women's teams or trans men can compete on men's teams. But there still is no representation for trans people in sports, and there is no representation for non-binary people in sports. I know I am the only one on the team who is non-binary, and playing water polo was a big thing for me. It held me back a lot from coming out because you can't really fit into those realms unless you fit into the gendered stereotypes, especially with a water sport where you're constantly showing off different aspects of your body.
One experience I had while playing water polo that kind of represents and highlights gender inequality in the world of sports is I was at a game and had a referee come over to me and my team and tell us that we needed to make sure that our water polo suits were pulled down so that you couldn't see our butts while we were walking around and doing stuff around the pool deck. And while she came over and said that to us, the boys water polo team was playing a game in the pool wearing only Speedos. So we thought it was kind of a ridiculous double standard.
As to minimizing the gap, there isn't a ton that can be done, at least in the society that we have now, because in order to include non-binary people, you have to kind of blur the lines of the binaries that have already been pre-established. So in order to include non-binary people, men and women's teams would have to be on the same team. It would just have to be like a general team instead of being separated. But as for the world of sports, it's really difficult to do that, especially from just biological standpoint. And then everyone else in between just kind of floats around there. So there's not a ton that you can do as to that standpoint, other than just changing language, I guess. But then again, I don't even know what you would do. It just kind of gets into that really nasty gray area that no one wants to tackle, so it just gets ignored.
Society can do a lot more to minimize the gap between men's sports teams and sports teams of people of other genders by promoting those other sports teams more. For example, in basketball, I used to play basketball, I like basketball, but you don't really see the women's national basketball team. You don't see their games televised or anything, and it's not as easy to watch. And while men's are just there's constant men's basketball all the time, and you can go find multiple teams, multiple games going on. So I think if that was brought to attention, then it would be easier, and representation would be easier to find.
If you don't think that gender inequality is an issue in the sports realm, I would like you to name one trans woman who has competed in a sport and has been nationally known, because I can't name one off the top of my head, and the fact that we don't have any is an issue, and it proves the issue that's there. So that's what I say about that.